Um, I have something, Tyler. A
Okay.
challenge my team is encountering on the cold calling side. We're
Okay.
starting to, up to now, I've been kind of just doing the best I could and with my team. So I have an agency managing the cold calling for me. They're really good. I like them. But they're telling me for the past few days they've been having some huge waiting time on call tools, like 7 minutes
Mm-hmm.
between calls, and the productivity does not seem to be where it needs to be. And so I'm kind of trying to assess, is there a number of lead problem or and a lead quality problem? Plus, in addition to that, there's this issue of why is it taking so much time between each call? So how
Yeah.
should I kind of think about all
So,
that and diagnose the, you know,
so what
um,
do you think? What do you think is the first thing that we probably need to look at in order to see the answer to this?
well,
Um,
mhm. Well,
Go ahead.
so first for we actually contacted Call Tools for the actual technical issue, and they said it was something related to I don't remember, like a tag or something. So normally my team fixed that. So we'll see if this technical problem is actually solved. And without the waiting time, does that provide more leads? It should. But that's more like a technical call tool things.
Yeah,
Uh,
let's assume that that's not the case,
yeah.
because there's something that comes up all the time with many companies. What would cause you to go from, and this is an everybody question, really anybody can answer, but what would cause your cold call campaigns to go from high connectivity rates to low connectivity rates? What's one of the first things that could cause that?
Flag numbers.
Okay, so let's talk about that. So flag numbers. What else?
And I know they're checking for that. They're changing numbers periodically. So at least in theory, we're on top of that.
Okay, what else could no cause connectivity to drop? Spam likely, yeah. So flag numbers, so kind of same thing.
Dead numbers.
Dead numbers, yep, dead numbers can cause this. But this would typically only be a problem depending on the campaigns you're sending. It would only be a problem on the first dial through, right? However, call tools, most likely Oliver's not sending back dead numbers on the initial campaign because they don't really do that very easily. So yes, this is relevant. So dead numbers. What other types of numbers may be causing this or
Landline,
conversation? Huh?
landline.
Landlines, yeah, landlines can cause this. You got a lot of people maybe be out working, and so they don't answer the landlines. This can be a thing. Um, Not as prevalent because a lot of times people with landlines now they're not out working. Usually they're home, and but they might not get to the phone in time, so double tapping things like that. But it can definitely play a part. What do you guys think is the biggest thing that when creating campaigns? Over time, you'll end up increasing your waiting to connect.
Exhausted numbers.
Exhausted. So that would be, let's figure out exhausted numbers. What do you mean by that? Because I mean, owners get exhausted, but what do you think an exhausted number would be?
Me personally, like if I ran through them like 6 times already.
Okay. So what you're really saying is no answer numbers, like numbers that nobody's picking up, right? So really this is yeah, no answers. And so that is a big thing right there. So when trying to diagnose like, hey, why is my connectivity taking so long? The very first thing that should be looked at is how high did my no answer rate increase? And most likely you're going to find that your no answer rate is going to increase a lot. And once we know that our no answer rate has increased a lot, this tells us that the wait time isn't necessarily associated with the technical tool. It's because the tool is sitting not connecting to nobody because it's dialing numbers. They're just not picking up because you have a lot of no answers. You've already been through the list potentially 3 or 4 times. And so because of that, you don't have a high connectivity. So the solution to this back in the day was fresh 10,000 records per VA every single month in order to always have a high connectivity rate. Um, and every business is different where you say, okay, after we dial through a certain list, connectivity diminishes. And because connectivity diminishes, we end up rotating to a different list. And so you got to kind of set that number. But in order to decide what that truly is, because you could have a low, let's just say you wait 7 minutes per call, but every call that picks up is a correct number. Is it bad that we waited 7 minutes compared to getting connected every single minute? If in 7 minutes we're getting a correct number every single time, it really depends. So we have to then look at has our correct number ratio from the amount of dials that we're making a day to the amount of correct numbers we're gathering, has it went down? So did our correct number ratio drastically drop with this difference in 7 minute wait time? Because the cold calling agency is going to be like, oh, hey, our efficiency has went down because we're not talking to as many people. Well, but if you've gathered the same amount of correct numbers and you're on par at, say, a 2% correct number ratio with bulk dialing on a rehash campaign, then you're probably actually fine. But they don't look at those numbers, and so they don't necessarily know that answer. So first thing is no answer rate. The next thing is looking at how many dials. Are we still dialing the same amount of dials? Like, are we dialing 1,000 dials but not connecting to people but every 7 minutes? If that's the case, then it's the numbers that are being dialed that are essentially potentially the issue here is the first thing we need to look at. What would some people do? They'd be like, oh, it's the skip trace provider. Well, no, not necessarily. It probably is just the fact that you've called through this multiple times. So my question next to you, Oliver, would be like, is this campaign, is the data that we've sent them to stuff that's already been called through multiple times, or is it fresh data every single time?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. I think it's I need to double check to get this answer. But I think it's not necessarily only new ones, because they actually said that they're going to be they said they're going to be pulling new data, which I tell them what I want, right? But they're going to pull new one to see if the problem persists. So I will know more in the coming days, basically.
Yeah. How are they sending you reports now? How are you getting updates to the efficiency of the campaign as far as the total amount of dials, wrong numbers, dead numbers, dispositions and stuff? How's that coming to you now?
Right now it's a spreadsheet
Okay.
that they're doing a. Do you want me to share my screen or no? Not dive into it. It's a spreadsheet basically.
So is it just an export from call tools they're giving you?
Um, you know what? I'm not even sure if it's manually entered or if it's export.
Okay.
Admittedly, I have not since I was kind of setting up everything, I have not yet made a
Yeah.
priority of diving into KPIs, but I'm getting to the point now where okay, I'm ready. Now I know I need to fine tune things, so that's why
Yeah.
I'm not very clear.
But you have from the time that you started using them, you have reports that they've given you on the amount of dials and disposition.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So
Yeah.
let's look at one of them CSVs real quick. Go ahead and share your screen, or Excel documents. And
Yeah.
if they've been doing that and they have the dates of the reports, then we could use this to okay, yeah, this is a manual import.
So there's a few, just so you know which one you want to look at. So they have that's this tab, agent KPIs, right? Then I have like number of calls, waiting time, and then I have campaign KPIs, campaign performance. So which one would you like to focus on for now?
Well, what I need is probably we just need the amount of dials and the disposition. So which one has that?
So the
This is by
dial.
this looks like it's by person. Scroll to the right on this one. Does this have dispositions as well by person? Not interested, wrong number, call back later, hung up, listed, voicemail, sold, no answer, DNC, all numbers, this number, Spanish speaking. Okay. We see the other one.
So that's agent. So that's actually per call tool seats. Like here I have two seats.
Right.
All right. So then this one would be per campaign. So like newly skip, high equity, whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, go ahead and scroll to the right on that one. I want to see. So connect, dispo, voicemail sold, no answer, DNC. Not interested. Where's the interested one?
So I think that's a discussion I had with them, and I think I asked the question in the group once. I think they don't have the interested. It's just yeah, they don't have that for some reason. They have all the rest.
That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Did they not have a disposition in call tools for new lead? Are they integrated with SIFT?
Yeah, we are. Yeah,
So
so correct numbers, but yeah,
so
interested, yeah.
when they disposition it as a new lead in call tool, is it your call tools account or is it their call tools account?
No, it's mine. It's mine.
Okay. Can you DM me your login to it?
Of call tools? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. One sec.
Let's take a look in there real fast.
Just give me 1 second so I can access them.
Because we need an ability to know our total correct numbers here, and the only way to get our total correct numbers is by having, I mean, not interested, but also in like leads.